You know what's crazy? Most people look at an aloe vera plant sitting on their windowsill and think, that's nice for sunburns. They have no idea that the exact same plant, the one they already own, is quietly one of the most powerful garden tools on the planet. No fertilizer bags to haul, no pesticide bottles to mix, no monthly trips to the garden center draining your wallet. Today we're covering 10 ways a single aloe vera plant can transform your entire garden, save you hundreds of dollars a year, and actually make your food grow better. Stick around because number 7 is going to completely change how you look at your tomato plants, and that bonus tip at the end, that one's a game changer. I use it every single season. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, glad you found us. This is the most budget-friendly gardening channel on YouTube, where we talk about growing real food with real results and as little money as possible. I've been gardening for over 20 years, and I'll be honest with you, I ignored aloe vera as a garden tool for most of that time. I thought it was strictly a first aid plant. The day I actually started using it in my garden, my plant losses dropped, my soil got healthier, and I stopped buying fertilizer almost entirely. That's what we're getting into today. Before we get into it, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. I drop videos every single week that'll save you money and help you grow better food right in your backyard or on your balcony. It takes 2 seconds, and it means the world to me. All right, let's get into it. Number 1, and this one alone could save you $15 to $30 every single growing season, aloe vera as a natural rooting hormone. Here's the deal. When you take a cutting from a rose bush, a tomato plant, a fig tree, or just about anything you want to propagate, most gardeners reach for a bottle of synthetic rooting hormone powder. That stuff works, sure, but it costs money, it has a shelf life, and you have to keep buying it. Aloe vera does the same job for free. The gel inside fresh aloe vera leaves contains a compound called salicylic acid, along with natural enzymes that stimulate root cell development. When you dip your cutting into fresh aloe gel before you stick it in soil, you're giving it a biological head start. In side-by-side tests, cuttings treated with fresh aloe gel show root development in 7 to 10 days, comparable to commercial hormone powder. Here's what most people don't realize. The gel also contains natural antimicrobial properties, which means it protects that fresh cutting from fungal rot at the base while the roots are forming. That's 2 benefits in one dip. Pro tip, use a fresh cut from your aloe plant within 20 minutes. The active compounds start breaking down once the gel is exposed to air. You don't need much, just enough to coat the bottom inch of your cutting. Bonus tip, this works beautifully with herb cuttings like basil, rosemary, and mint. Propagate 10 basil plants from one mother plant using aloe, and at $3 to $4 per basil plant at the nursery, you've just saved $30 to $40 in a single afternoon. Number 2, and this one shocked me when I first tested it, using aloe vera to supercharge your seed germination rate. Most gardeners lose anywhere from 20 to 40% of their seeds to poor germination. You plant them, wait, and half of them never come up. You blame the seeds, buy more, and the cycle continues. But here's the kicker. Diluted aloe vera juice, mixed at about 1 part aloe gel to 5 parts water, used as a seed soak before planting, can dramatically improve germination speed and success rate. The natural hormones in aloe, specifically gibberellins, act as germination triggers. Soaking your seeds in this aloe solution for 2 to 4 hours before planting essentially wakes them up faster. Studies on vegetable seeds like tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers have shown germination rates improve by 15 to 30% with aloe pre-treatment. Think about what that means if you're starting a full vegetable garden from seed every spring. A packet of heirloom tomato seeds runs $4 to $6. If you're getting 30% more of those seeds to actually germinate, you're getting more plants from the same packet, or needing to buy fewer packets overall. Pro tip, after soaking, plant immediately. Don't let the seeds sit wet for more than 4 to 6 hours, or you risk premature fungal growth. Bonus tip. This works especially well for slow germinating seeds like parsley and peppers, which can take 2 to 3 weeks normally. Aloe soaking can cut that down by 5 to 7 days. That's huge for busy people working with a short growing season. Number 3, making your own liquid fertilizer from aloe. And this one is genuinely wild when you look at the numbers. A decent bottle of liquid organic fertilizer runs $12 to $20, and if you're feeding a full vegetable garden through a whole season, you might go through 3 or 4 bottles. That's $50 to $80 every summer, just on fertilizer. One mature aloe vera plant, and I mean a plant that's just been sitting in a pot for 2 or 3 years, gives you enough gel to make liquid plant food all season long, completely free. Here's how it works. Aloe gel contains over 75 active compounds, including vitamins B1, B2, B6, and C, along with minerals like calcium, magnesium, zinc, and iron. When you blend a few tablespoons of fresh aloe gel into a gallon of water and use it as a soil drench or foliar spray, you're delivering a broad-spectrum micronutrient boost directly to your plants. It's like giving your plants a multivitamin rather than a single supplement. It won't replace a heavy nitrogen fertilizer for leafy crops like kale or lettuce, but for fruiting plants, tomatoes, peppers, squash, cucumbers, the micronutrient boost from aloe translates directly into stronger flowering and better fruit set. Pro tip: use 1 to 2 tablespoons of fresh aloe gel per gallon of water, applied every 2 to 3 weeks. More is not better here. Think of it as a supplement, not a meal. Bonus tip: apply this as a foliar spray in the early morning so leaves can absorb it before the sun burns the moisture off. Tomato plants treated this way through the season produce noticeably thicker stems, which directly supports heavier fruit loads. Talked about uses of aloe in the garden. And honestly, it might be the most important one. Long-term, healthy soil isn't just dirt with nutrients in it. It's a living ecosystem full of bacteria and fungi that your plants depend on to access those nutrients. When you use synthetic fertilizers and pesticides repeatedly, you slowly kill that microbial ecosystem. Your soil gets dependent on chemical inputs because the biology that once did that work naturally is gone. Aloe vera helps reverse that damage. The polysaccharides in aloe gel, specifically ace-mannan, act as a prebiotic for soil microbes. When you water aloe solution into your soil, you're feeding the beneficial bacteria and fungi that break down organic matter, fix nitrogen, and protect plant roots. Over 1 to 2 growing seasons of regular aloe applications, gardeners consistently report that their soil becomes noticeably darker, looser, and better at retaining moisture. And here's the kicker: better moisture retention means less watering. If you're watering a garden twice a week instead of 3 times a week through a hot summer, that's a meaningful reduction in your water bill and your time. That's huge for busy people. Pro tip: mix aloe solution into your compost tea if you make it. The combination of active compost biology plus aloe's prebiotic compounds creates an extremely powerful soil drench, organic pesticide and pest repellent. Number 5. Using aloe as a natural pest repellent. And here's where things get really practical. Commercial organic pesticides like neem oil spray run about $10 to $15 per bottle. They work, but they need to be reapplied every 7 to 14 days. And if you're maintaining a full garden through a whole season, you're spending real money. Aloe vera spray, made from diluted gel, works as both a direct pest deterrent and a plant immune booster that makes your plants harder for insects to damage in the first place. The bitter compounds in aloe, specifically anthraquinones like aloe, are naturally repellent to soft-bodied insects like aphids, spider mites, and whiteflies. Spraying a light aloe solution on the undersides of leaves creates an environment that insects find inhospitable without harming your plants, your soil, or the beneficial insects like ladybugs and bees that you actually want in your garden. But here's what most people don't realize. Aloe doesn't just repel pests, it helps plants defend themselves. Salicylic acid, the same compound that makes aspirin work, is present in aloe and triggers what plant scientists call systemic acquired resistance. Basically, plants sprayed with aloe solution activate their own internal defense systems and become genuinely harder for pests and diseases to attack. Pro tip: make a fresh spray each time. Blend 2 tablespoons of aloe gel per quart of water, add just 2 or 3 drops of mild dish soap to help it stick, and spray every 10 to 14 days as a preventive measure before you even see pest pressure. Bonus tip: combine aloe spray with a few crushed garlic cloves steeped in water overnight for an even more effective deterrent against aphids and leaf-chewing beetles. Hey, quick pause here. If you're getting real value out of this, smash that like button. It takes 1 second and it helps this video reach more gardeners who need this information. And drop a comment below telling me which of these aloe uses you're most excited to try first. I read every single comment and I genuinely love hearing what you're growing. Alright, we're halfway through and honestly the next 5 are where it gets really good. Antifungal treatment for plants. Number 6. And if you've ever lost a plant to powdery mildew, black spot, or root rot, this one's for you. Fungal disease is the #1 plant killer in home gardens. Powdery mildew alone can wipe out an entire zucchini or cucumber patch in 2 weeks during humid weather. Commercial antifungal sprays like copper fungicide run $12 to $18 per bottle. But here's the deal. Fresh aloe gel has documented antifungal properties that work directly against the most common garden fungal pathogens. The same anthraquinones and enzymes that repel insects also inhibit fungal spore germination on leaf surfaces. When you spray aloe solution on plants that are showing early signs of powdery mildew, that dusty white coating on the leaves, It can slow and even stop the spread if you catch it early. It's not a cure for advanced infection, but as a preventive spray applied weekly during humid periods, it dramatically reduces how often fungal problems take hold. Pro tip: for powdery mildew specifically, mix aloe gel with baking soda. 1 tablespoon of baking soda per quart of water, plus 2 tablespoons of aloe gel. The baking soda raises pH on the leaf surface, making it hostile to fungal spores, while the aloe helps the solution stick and adds its own antifungal compounds. Bonus tip: apply this combination to your cucumber, squash, and rose plants proactively starting in midsummer when humidity peaks. You'll spend $0 instead of $15 to $20 on fungicide, and your plants will stay productive weeks longer into the season. Tomato Plant Supercharger. Number 7, and I promised you this one was going to change how you look at your tomatoes, so here it is. Tomatoes are the most popular vegetable in home gardens, and they're also one of the most demanding. They need consistent nutrition, strong root systems, disease resistance, and good stress tolerance to produce well. A single mature aloe vera plant can support all 4 of those needs simultaneously, which is why I now consider aloe a non-negotiable companion for every tomato I grow. Here's how I use it specifically for tomatoes. At transplant time, I blend 2 tablespoons of fresh aloe gel into a gallon of water and use that as my transplant solution, the water I pour into the hole before setting the plant in. The aloe stimulates rapid root development in those first critical days, which means less transplant shock and faster early growth. Then, through the season, I apply diluted aloe foliar spray every 2 weeks, which keeps powdery mildew and early blight at bay while delivering micronutrients. And here's what most people don't realize. Tomatoes treated with regular aloe applications consistently show stronger calcium uptake, which directly reduces blossom end rot, that black sunken patch on the bottom of tomatoes that ruins fruit. Blossom end rot is caused by inconsistent calcium availability, and the organic acids in aloe actually help chelate calcium in the soil, making it more accessible to plant roots. At $5 to $7 per pound for heirloom tomatoes at the farmer's market, producing even an extra 5 to 10 pounds per plant from your garden represents $25 to $70 in value. That's huge. Pro tip: don't spray aloe on tomato leaves in the afternoon. Morning application gives the solution time to absorb before the midday heat causes stress. Bonus tip: plant a small aloe vera plant directly in the same raised bed as your tomatoes. As you harvest aloe leaves for other uses, the scent compounds released from cut leaves act as a mild pest deterrent for the entire bed. Composting accelerator. Number 8. Using aloe vera to speed up your compost pile. And this one is beautifully simple. A good compost pile turns kitchen scraps and yard waste into black gold in about 3 to 6 months. But most home composters complain that their pile is either too slow, too smelly, or never seems to fully break down. Aloe vera gel, added to your compost, acts as a microbial activator that speeds decomposition and reduces odor. The enzymes in aloe, lipases, proteases, amylases, are the same types of enzymes that bacteria use to break down organic material. When you add aloe gel to a compost pile, you're seeding it with a burst of enzymatic activity that jumpstarts microbial populations. The result is a hotter, faster pile. Practically speaking, whenever you harvest an aloe leaf, don't throw the skin away. Chop it up and toss it directly into the compost. The thick, moisture-rich leaves break down quickly and introduce those active compounds right into the pile. Do this consistently through the growing season, and you'll notice your compost finishing in 8 to 10 weeks instead of 4 to 5 months. Pro tip: blend spent aloe leaves with water and pour the liquid directly onto a slow pile. It's like pouring compost starter on it, except it's completely free and comes from your own garden. Natural mulch and moisture retention aid. Number 9. And this one is dead simple, which is exactly why I love it. Mulching is one of the highest value things you can do in a garden. A 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch reduces watering needs by 25 to 50%, suppresses weeds, and moderates soil temperature. But good mulch, straw, wood chips, bark, costs money. A bag of bark mulch runs $5 to $8 and covers maybe 8 square feet. Here's the kicker: aloe vera leaves, when laid flat on bare soil around your plants, function as a living mulch that also slowly releases beneficial compounds into the soil as they break down. The thick, gel-filled leaves hold moisture, block sunlight from weed seeds, and slowly decompose over 2 to 3 weeks, releasing all those nutrients and enzymes directly into the root zone of your plants. This works best with the large lower leaves of a mature aloe plant, the ones you'd be pruning off anyway to keep the plant healthy. Instead of throwing them in the bin, lay them flat around your squash, peppers, or corn. It's zero-waste gardening at its most practical. Pro tip: slice the leaves lengthwise before laying them down. This exposes the gel directly to the soil, speeding up both the moisture release and the decomposition process, propagating one plant into an entire garden supply. Number 10, and this is the one that makes everything else on this list truly free forever. One aloe vera plant, properly cared for, will produce pups, offshoots from the base, at a rate of 3 to 8 new plants per year. Each of those pups, once separated and potted up, becomes a full producing plant within 12 to 18 months. Do the math, start with one plant today, and within 3 years you could realistically have 20 to 30 aloe plants supplying your entire garden operation. At $8 to $15 per aloe vera plant at a nursery or garden center, that's $160 to $450 worth of plants you've produced from a single original purchase, without spending a single additional dollar. You plant it once and it produces for you for 20, 30, even 40 years if you keep it going. The best variety for this purpose is Aloe barbadensis Miller. That's just the botanical name for the common medicinal aloe you already know. It's the most vigorous pup producer and has the highest gel content of any aloe variety you'll commonly find. If you want a smaller plant for indoor growing that still produces usable gel, look for tiger tooth aloe, which stays compact but produces pups readily. Pro tip: when you separate a pup, let the cut end callus over in a shaded dry spot for 24 to 48 hours before planting. This prevents root rot at the cut point and dramatically improves the pup's survival rate. Bonus tip: give propagated aloe pups to your neighbors, family, and fellow gardeners. You'll have more plants than you can use within a few years, and sharing them builds exactly the kind of gardening community where people trade tips, seeds, and harvests. That's the real long-term value of a self-sufficient garden. So there you have it. 10 ways a single aloe vera plant can replace fertilizers, pesticides, rooting hormones, fungicides, and compost starters, all while saving you $200 to $400 or more every single growing season. One plant, one investment, years and years of payback. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these are you trying first? Drop it in the comments right now. Are you going to try the tomato transplant soak, the seed germination boost, or are you going to start propagating pups right away? Tell me below. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. I put out a new video every single week packed with practical, money-saving garden advice just like this. And next week, we're talking about 5 kitchen scraps you're probably throwing away that are actually worth more to your garden than most commercial fertilizers. You don't want to miss that one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.